Hello crafty friends, working in my scrappy art journal today. In a previous video, I made this mess to encourage you to let go and try new things. Once we were done with that, we created these cute little embellishments, and today I'm going to use one as a focal point in my art journal. If you'd like to see how these were made, I will link the video in the description box below. I'm going to start by preparing the background. The pages that I have are these pinks, which are not really going to work with the idea I have. I want something a bit plainer. So I have this piece of black and white. It's from a coloring in book, and I think it's going to work great. I'm just going to tear a piece that's about the size to fit across both pages, and then I'm going to stick that down with Mod Podge. You could also use gel medium, a glue stick, or craft glue. I'm then going to add a thin layer of white gesso over the entire surface. This is to lighten everything and push everything into the background. If we leave it as bold as it is, our focal points and other things we do on top of it will get a bit lost. So the gesso has covered it well. You can still see some of it, but it's very faint. But the design shines through, which gives the page dimension. Once that's dry, I'm going to add an additional layer of gesso, a little bit more opaque, in the top right-hand corner and the bottom left-hand corner. I'm going to concentrate most of the color work in those areas, so I want the gesso a little bit thicker. I'm then going to dry that well, and then I'm going to apply the first layer of color. I'm using the Dina Wakley colors today. I will put a full list of all the colors that I have used in the description box below. This beautiful turquoise color has got a metallic finish, which is really beautiful. I'm just using a flat paintbrush and concentrating mainly in the corner and then spreading it thinner as I go towards the center of the book. I'm doing the same, but in a smaller area in the bottom left-hand corner. Also applying a little bit of water just to thin it out. Then using a baby wipe just to smooth it out and blend it in nicely. Don't forget to dry well between each application of color so that all the colors don't blend and become muddy. The next color I'm using is a beautiful lime green. Again, I'm not applying it everywhere, just in certain areas, and it contrasts so well with the turquoise. I'm then applying this stencil, and I'm going to put some of my Ken Oliver Color Burst powders. Again, I'm using a turquoise and a lime green. I'm just sprinkling a little bit of that, and then I'm going to spray a lot of water, which activates the watercolor powder. I'm then going to use a scrap piece of paper just to press over it to pick up all the excess, and let's see what is left behind on the page of the art journal. It's a little bit of a watery mess, but it has left some impressions of the circles, which I like. I then use a baby wipe and wipe over the stencil over the clearer parts of the page, and it leaves us beautiful designs from the stencil. It may not have worked exactly as I'd hoped, but I really do like the way this came out, and I like the different tones of color, the lighter and darker areas. I'm going to apply a little bit more turquoise by watering down the acrylic paint, and then using a fan paintbrush, I'm going to just splatter some of the turquoise over some of the areas. This will just help to extend the color further past the areas I've already colored. For a little bit more detail, I'm going to use my script stamp and some black permanent ink, and I'm going to stamp just randomly over certain areas of the page. I really think this gives it a lovely touch. I'm not going to overwork the page, it's ready for the focal point. I'm going to place down the embellishment that I'm going to use, and I'm just going to draw around it just to get a marking of where it's going to be. And then I'm using my watered down black acrylic paint in my fine tip applicator bottle to create multiple circles where the embellishment is going to go. I think this will frame the embellishment nicely and will help it to pop off the page. Once the acrylic paint is dry, I'm going to stick down the embellishment with some craft glue. I'm going to add a small sentiment to the left page just to balance out the two pages. I've cut the sentiment in half, and it's just a black sticker with white writing. Although it's a sticker, I'm adding craft glue just to make sure it sticks down well over all the medium I've used. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. I really hope you enjoyed it and were inspired to create your own. I would love if you subscribed to my channel, and while you're there, hit the little bell so you're notified every time I upload new content. Here is a close-up of the project so you can see all the beautiful details. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Happy creating, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.